What if I told you that something written thousands of years ago is happening right now, right before our eyes? The Euphrates River, one of the most important rivers in human history, is literally disappearing. And here's what makes this absolutely mind-blowing. This event was predicted in ancient texts long before climate science, before satellites, before we even understood how rivers worked. Today, we're going to explore one of the most fascinating intersections of ancient prophecy, modern science, and viral mystery that's capturing the attention of millions around the world. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or just curious about what's really happening, this story will change how you see the connection between our past and our present. Before we dive into the prophecies and the mysteries, let's understand what the Euphrates River actually is and why it matters so much. The Euphrates isn't just any river. This is one of the two great rivers, along with the Tigris, that created what historians call the Cradle of Civilization. We're talking about Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers, where some of humanity's first cities emerged, where writing was invented, where agriculture took root and changed human history forever. The Euphrates flows for nearly 800 miles, starting in the mountains of Turkey, cutting through Syria and flowing all the way down through Iraq, before eventually meeting the Persian Gulf. For thousands upon thousands of years, this river has been the lifeblood of the region. Ancient Babylon stood on its banks. The Hanging Gardens, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, were irrigated by its waters. Countless generations have depended on this river for drinking water, for farming, for transportation, for survival itself. This river appears throughout history, throughout ancient texts, throughout the stories that shaped multiple religions and cultures. It's mentioned in the Bible, it's referenced in Islamic traditions. It's woven into the very fabric of human civilization. So when we talk about the Euphrates drying up, we're not just talking about an environmental issue. We're talking about something that strikes at the heart of human history and touches on beliefs that billions of people hold sacred. Now here's where things get really interesting. In the book of Revelation, the final book of the Christian Bible, there's a specific prophecy that has captured people's imagination for nearly 2,000 years. Revelation in chapter 16, verse 12 states, "The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east." Think about that for a moment. This text was written approximately 2,000 years ago, at a time when the Euphrates was flowing strong and powerful. There was no industrial revolution, no climate change as we understand it, no massive dam projects. Yet this ancient text specifically predicts that this mighty river would dry up as part of events associated with the end times. For centuries, people read this passage and wondered how such a thing could possibly happen. How could a river that had flowed for millennia suddenly dry up? What force could be powerful enough to stop the Euphrates? Some interpreted it purely symbolically, thinking it must be metaphorical language. Others believed it would require direct divine intervention, a supernatural act that defied natural laws. But here's what's absolutely fascinating. Regardless of how you interpret the theological meaning, regardless of whether you believe this is prophecy or not, the physical reality described in this ancient text is actually happening right now. The Euphrates River is drying up. Not in some distant future, not as a theoretical possibility, but today, in our lifetime, documented by satellite imagery, reported by news agencies, witnessed by millions of people who live along its banks. So let's talk about what's actually happening on the ground, because the scientific evidence is absolutely undeniable and deeply concerning. The Euphrates River has lost approximately 70% of its water volume over the past few decades. 70%. Areas that were once underwater, that had been submerged for generations, are now dry land. Ancient structures and settlements that had been hidden beneath the water for centuries are being exposed. What's causing this dramatic change? The answer is complex, and it involves multiple factors working together to create what scientists call a perfect storm of water crisis. First, there's climate change. The entire Middle East region is experiencing rising temperatures, changing precipitation patterns, and more frequent and severe droughts. The glaciers and snow in the Turkish mountains where the Euphrates originates are providing less meltwater than they used to. Rainfall patterns have shifted, becoming less predictable and less abundant. The Southeastern Anatolia project in Turkey includes the construction of 22 dams along the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. While these projects provide hydroelectric power and irrigation for Turkey, they significantly reduce the amount of water reaching Syria and Iraq further downstream. Third, there's increased water consumption due to growing populations, agricultural demands, and industrial development. More people need more water. More farms need more irrigation. The demand has increased dramatically while the supply has decreased. Farmers can no longer irrigate their crops. Fishermen have no fish to catch. Ancient marshlands that supported unique ecosystems are turning into desert. Wells are running dry. The United Nations has warned about potential water wars in the region as countries struggle over this increasingly scarce resource. Now, here's where our story takes an even more intriguing turn. And this is what's really captured the internet's imagination and made this topic go absolutely viral on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. As the water levels have dropped and ancient areas have been exposed, people have begun sharing stories, videos, and claims about mysterious phenomena occurring in and around the drying riverbed. Some of the most viral content claims that strange sounds, unexplained noises, and eerie recordings have been captured in the areas newly exposed by the receding waters. Videos circulate showing dried up sections of the river, accompanied by audio that people describe as otherworldly, unsettling, or inexplicable. Some content creators have connected these sounds to ancient legends and religious texts about beings or entities that were supposedly bound or imprisoned in these ancient lands. There are claims about archaeological discoveries being made as the water recedes, revealing structures, artifacts, and locations that had been submerged and hidden for centuries. Some of these discoveries are legitimate and scientifically documented. Archaeological teams have indeed found ancient settlements, tools, and structures as water levels drop. But the internet being what it is, these real discoveries get mixed with speculation, exaggeration, and sometimes outright fabrication. The mystery angle has created a perfect storm for viral content. It touches on people's curiosity about the unknown, their interest in prophecy and prediction, their concern about environmental issues, and their fascination with mysteries. It's important to approach these viral claims with critical thinking. Are there literally fallen angels or supernatural entities making sounds in the Euphrates? That's where we move from documented reality into the realm of belief, interpretation, and often creative storytelling designed to get views and engagement. What we can say with certainty is that the drying of the Euphrates has captured human imagination in a powerful way, connecting our ancient past with our uncertain future and raising profound questions about prophecy science and what might be coming next. So what do we do with all of this information? Let's try to put this in perspective and think about what it really means. From a scientific and humanitarian standpoint, the drying of the Euphrates is an environmental catastrophe that demands urgent attention. It's about food security, about political stability, about human survival. The international community needs to take this seriously as a crisis that requires cooperation, not competition. Investment in water conservation, efficient irrigation, and alternative water sources is critical. This is about preventing humanitarian disaster and regional instability. For Christians who take biblical prophecy seriously, the drying of the Euphrates raises questions about the times we're living in and what might be ahead. It's natural for people to look at current events and see connections to ancient predictions. That's been part of human nature throughout history. What's important is that these different perspectives, the scientific and the spiritual, don't have to be in opposition. You can acknowledge the environmental reality and work toward solutions while also holding personal beliefs about prophecy and meaning. You can be concerned about climate change and water management while also reflecting on what ancient texts might have to say about our current moment. The viral mystery phenomenon, meanwhile, reminds us that we live in an age where information, misinformation, genuine discovery, it's our responsibility as consumers of content to think critically, to verify sources, to distinguish between documented facts and entertaining speculation. The real story of the Euphrates drying up is compelling enough without needing to add unverified supernatural elements. Perhaps the most profound thing about this entire situation is what it reveals about human nature. We're drawn to stories that connect the ancient with the modern, that suggest there might be patterns or meanings in the events we're living through. We want to believe that what's happening now might have been foreseen, that there might be some larger narrative connecting our past, present, and future. Whether you see this as the fulfillment of ancient prophecy, as an environmental crisis demanding urgent action, as an archaeological opportunity, or as all of these things at once, the reality is undeniable and the implications are profound. This story matters because it's happening right now, affecting real people, real ecosystems, real futures. It matters because it challenges us to think about the relationship between ancient wisdom and modern challenges, between prophecy and science, between belief and evidence. As you encounter videos, posts, and articles about the Euphrates, I encourage you to engage with curiosity, but also with critical thinking. Seek out reliable sources. Understand the real humanitarian crisis. Learn about the genuine archaeological discoveries being made. But also be skeptical of sensational claims designed purely for viral attention. How we respond, how we interpret it, and what we do about it will say a lot about who we are as a global community. Whether you came to this video because of prophecy, because of science, because of mystery, or because of simple curiosity, I hope you leave with a deeper understanding of something truly remarkable happening in our world today. The Euphrates has witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations for thousands of years. What happens next is still being written,